Welcome everybody to Young Life Tulare County's first ever at-home banquet, and hopefully the last. A little vision for tonight. We want tonight to be fun. We don't want it to be you looking at a screen and just listening to me talking and a couple other people. We hope that you're watching this with other friends around. We hope that you're watching this with loved ones or maybe your favorite pet. And we hope that you're having drinks and dessert or some kind of party, because in Young Life, we love a good party. And then, you know what? I think Jesus did too. So if you don't have something to eat right now, go ahead and pause this video and get some chocolate chips or some Doritos or your favorite snack food, and then run back. Okay, we're gonna pause in 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're good. Tonight's a party because we have some things to celebrate. And the first thing that we have to celebrate is that because of Jesus, we have great news to share. A pandemic doesn't change that. Crazy politics doesn't change that. Any other tension that we have going on in our lives doesn't change that. Jesus stepped into our world and it changed literally everything. In Young Life, we like to say that Jesus was God with skin on. In another way, I've heard it put, is Jesus is God con carne. He's God with meat on. And I love that, because when we take a look at Jesus and we take a look at the life of Christ, we can get a picture of the heart of God and what he thinks about us, how he interacts with us. And that's what we're offering with our students. This year has looked different in regards to our normal rhythms. We're not doing clubs in homes with like 50 plus kids where they're jumping on top of each other and we're doing skits and everything else. We're still having fun, but it's just in a different way. We have been meeting with the students that we do know and already have relationship with in groups called campaigners, which are like backyard Bible study type things. And we've been sitting around a fire pit in a backyard, socially distanced, and we've been diving into what it looks like to take a closer look at Jesus. It's been really cool to grow deep in our faith with our friends right by our sides. On the Young Lives side, we've been doing online clubs, Zoom clubs, where we're able to get right in the living room of some of our teen moms and meet them exactly where they're at, not where we expect them to be. And I think that's what Jesus did too. He met us exactly where we're at. Another thing that we have to celebrate is that our leaders are being equipped. In this time, it's allotted a little bit more time for us to gather our leaders together, to train them. So when things do open up, we can be at the schools, we can be at the skate parks, we can be in the lives of teenagers that we don't know yet, but we hope to be adults without an agenda that can come alongside and say, hey, what's going on? We love you exactly where you're at, and we have some good news to share with you. There's hope. So with that being said, let's hear from some of our friends who have been involved this year. And I promise we'll make it brief, and then you guys can get back to the party.
My name is Reese, and I've been a Young Life leader for almost a year now. How I got involved in Young Life was my senior year of high school. I had some friends that were coming to Young Life. When I came to Young Life, Clark wanted me to do the club music because I'm a worship leader at my church, and so he wanted me to do some club music for club and lead worship. My experience since becoming a Young Life leader has been pretty weird. Right as I became a Young Life leader, 2 weeks later, that's when the lockdown happened and we weren't able to meet with students, which for me was kind of a blessing in disguise because I have grown so much in my walk with the Lord over the past year of being a Young Life leader, and it's just been a great experience being able to grow. And I think that once we're able to completely get back into students, that's going to benefit me being able to pour into them and help them with their walk with the Lord. So my highlight of becoming a Young Life leader was in August. We went up to Hume Lake, all of us leaders, and spent a weekend together and had a great time, had a lot of fun, prayed together, worshiped together, and we just spent time with the Lord and did devotionals, and it was just a really, really fun weekend. I'm really looking forward to the next couple months because Over the past 2 months, we've been able to do campaigner small groups, and I'm really excited to continue that, and then also to open up more and hopefully be able to do club and just have a good time with all of our students.
Hello, my name is Christy Campos de Jesus. I'm 21 years old, and I'm also a United States Senior Airman. But my most important title is mom to my 2-year-old daughter and a mother to my husband, Omar. People could look at my life and say I was fortunate to have a mom and dad, but I wish I could have had that fairy tale story. From my earliest memories, I cannot remember ever experiencing warmth and security from my parents. I only found that from my grandparents. And as much as I loved my dad, he didn't know how to love. No matter how I tried to get positive attention, it wasn't what he could give. He could only give negative attention. The moment I was a kid, they would keep me from my grandma because my dad didn't like going over there. My grandma would always call, so I would talk to them behind my parents' back. Out of all 3 of us kids, my older brother, never believed in Jesus because he's like, why would he let us go through this as little kids? That sort of made me question my faith, so I was always in and out, and every time something would happen to me, I would ask God, like, why are you letting this happen to me? I'm just a kid. My parents, they're like, you're never gonna graduate high school, you're gonna be a dropout, 16 and pregnant, like, you're going nowhere in life. I got pregnant at 16. My dad, he was in Hawaii at the time. He was over there working. And my mom, she was so mad at me. After that, I started working and I was raising my little brother, who was only a couple months old at the time. I was just a senior in high school. And then later on, a couple months later, I found out my grandma had cancer and they're like, she only has a couple months left. I was really angry. I had prayed and I'm like, God, she's devoted her life to you. I just continued to pray and pray for her. November 10th came. I was by her side up until the day she passed away. After that, my parents got a divorce. And I remember when I was 14 years old, like I thought I'm glad I didn't, but like I did try to hurt myself because of my pain. I didn't want to do this anymore. And I'm glad I didn't because here I am now. After we had all split up because my parents sold the house, we ended up moving in with Omar's mom because we didn't have anywhere to go. We were gonna be homeless. And finally we were able to get our own place and we moved in. And then a couple years later, my grandpa, he was just done. His specific words were, I want to go be with your grandma, I miss her. And he ended up passing away October 16th, a couple years after. It was actually 5 days prior I had enlisted into the Air Force. He was so proud. And then after that, it seemed like things got better. And I had gone to Young Lives camp. I had prayed. We had just gotten done with Club Talk. And I had gone outside and I was just praying the whole time and talking. I finally felt like, God saw me and he wanted me to be there. During the 15 minutes of quiet time at camp, I had a conversation with Jesus. I realized that someone wanted me to be here. God wanted me. That's where I gave my life to Jesus and asked him to help me walk the right path. It was there that I realized that God knew me and he loved me and he saw me. I felt love and I felt his presence. And it did give me a sense of peace when I was talking to him. And I knew he wanted me to be there because there were so many things that weren't going my way, to go to camp. And finally, they all worked out. And that was the beginning of a new path for my family. My boyfriend and I are married and raising our daughter to know Jesus. We are both enlisted in the United States Air Force and looking forward to serving Christ and our country. All the pain, the hurt, like the sorrow, it can get better and I could be them with a great testimony speech. I was talking to my husband the other day. I'm like, we've grown up so much with Sky. Like we've been through so much and now he's put us in a good place where it's like we're not struggling. at Young Lives Camp, I decided to devote myself to him and just follow his path, and that's what I've been doing. So that's my story.
Hi, I'm Karen Cardoza, and I'm the Area Director for Young Lives of Tulare County. On behalf of the entire Young Life family, we want to thank you for joining us this weekend. We hope that you were encouraged and inspired by what you've just seen and heard, and we would love to invite you to come join us. If you're interested in being a volunteer, a committee member, or a financial partner, you can contact us at our website, yltularecounty.com. We want to hear from you. Our goal tonight is to raise $50,000 for the ongoing work of Young Life Tulare County. We are so thankful for those of you who hung in there with us this last year. We know there was a lot of sacrificial giving, and we truly appreciate that. And for those of you who would like to join as a financial partner, might you consider becoming a monthly donor? Our monthly donors are the foundation of what we're able to do in Tulare County. They help pay the rent, they help cover the electricity bill, and also help us to reach more kids in the community, to get to the next high school, to the next kid. These kids are worth every penny. Thank you for joining us tonight, and hopefully we'll see you in person next year.
Hi, we're David and Kelly Ariola, and we are grateful to support Young Life and give monthly. And I'll let my wife share some more about that.
Yes, I give to Young Life because I had the opportunity to be a part of Young Life as a high school student, and I'm still friends with some of those people I connected with 20-something years ago. And we also choose to give to Young Life. I'm a high school teacher, and I have actually one student in particular that I've gotten to get connected to Young Life leaders. And her parents have actually reached out to me multiple times saying, "Thank you, Kelly, so much for connecting her with these leaders. It's made a huge impact in her life." And I've had her for 4 years, so I've had the opportunity to see her growth from freshman year to senior year. And I think a lot of it has to do with the intentionality of Young Life leaders. So that's why we give to Young Life.
I give to Young Life because I met Jesus at Woodleaf, and it changed my life forever.
I'm Rick Bagley, and I give to Young Life because when I was a teenager, somebody else gave to Young Life that enabled me to hear what Jesus was offering me as membership in his kingdom. And that's why I do it today, so that other teenagers can have the same offer.